Hello everybody. I thought I'd do a quick review here of the new Kato Olympian Hiawatha in the post 1955 yellow and gray paint scheme, since I haven't seen one posted yet. This train is not stock. I just got it on Friday and it's Sunday right now, so I've done some work to it already and there's still some work to do yet. But I'm just going to run down the train and some other equipment that I've built to go with it, and then we'll do some running montages with all of my yellow and gray equipment, which isn't a lot, but since my layout's set in 1953, I don't have a whole lot of yellow and gray stuff, but I have a little bit. So anyways, let's get going here. First up, we got an FP7 and an F7B and an FP7, also the motive power. I put DCC chips in them by Digitrax, non-sound. I left the stock front coupler, but if you look here, I put Gold Medal Models windshield wipers on. And the green on the nose was meant to cut down on the glare for the engineer and the fireman sitting there. But Kato, they made it stop short of the window glass, and I've fixed that. I found the closest green in my paint stash that I could find, and I bumped it. I pulled the window glass out and painted it up to the where it's supposed to be. So it's the first thing I did. Next, in between all the units, you can see they're closer coupled than the factory. I have Fox Valley, formerly Unimate, dummy couplers, short shanks in between them. I do this on all my F units. It shortens them up really nicely. And then same treatment here on the trailing FP7 windshield wipers, and I did the green on the nose. Also, this one has a Microtrains coupler in the pilot. Okay, so the first car in the contest is not available from Kato. This is a 3D printed shell that I bought off of eBay and then I painted and decorated. It is, I use Model Flex paints, Gold Medal Model detail parts. It has Kato trucks on it. The decals are by Circus City Decals. Yeah. So the Model Flex yellow, Armor Yellow, turned out really pretty close to the Kato yellow. The gray, I added a little bit of black to their Harbor Mist gray. That seemed to help it a little bit. So that's the RPO. Next car is a full baggage. Again, this one is a cast shell by my friend Bill Denton that I painted and decaled. Same paint as before. This one has American Limited trucks on it with Kato wheel sets and then Microtrains body-mounted 1015 couplers. This is the earlier version of the car. It's got 2 portholes in the baggage doors yet. This is the Kato baggage dorm. All the Kato cars I haven't done anything to unless I say something about it. There's 3 coaches on the train. The set only comes with 2. This is the third one that was painted and decaled. This is the first coach that was with the set. This is the second coach that was with the set. Here's the first thing I found that's not correct, unless somebody wants to correct me. Kato left off the upper, between the roof and where it says Milwaukee Road, there should be a red stripe. If you notice on the Superdome, it has one. And the coach here has one. But the 2 coaches that came with the set, they do not have that upper red stripe. So I'm going to look through my decal stash and see if it's doable, so make it more correct. Superdome, stock. The diner, again, stock. And then I have, for extra dining car service, I have built a tap lounge from 3D printed shell, again, that I got off of eBay. This one has Kato trucks, Modelplex paints, Circus City decals, gold medal model detail parts. There's some American Limited roof vents on the top, and then gold medal modeled stanchions on the top, and the antenna is actually one strand out of a regular extension cord. I just chopped up the extension cord and put the strand in there. It's kind of hard to see. There, that's better. You can see it. Turned out quite nice. The prototype photos I've seen actually has bends in it like that, so I wasn't too upset that it's not perfectly dead straight. This is the Kato Turlock sleeper. Here again, Kato didn't put the red stripe between the roof and the letterboard. Not sure what they were doing, but the car's right. The paint job just isn't. This is a duplex sleeper that occasionally ran on the train. This was not included in the Kato set. This is a Railsmith car by Lowell Smith. Again, the paint matches pretty close. I like his yellow better than the Kato. I think the Kato's a little too orangey, but it's pretty close. So we're going to run that with the train. Next are 210-6 sleepers. In the Lake series. These are again with the set. And the tail car is the bedroom skytop. This is not the same as the parlor that is with the Frenza 261. This one had bedrooms in it, and the glass area is different on the back. So I did change one thing on this car. On the back, I took the stock coupler out and put a Microtrain Z-Scale 905 in it to make it look a little better. So that's the train with the added concepts to make added cars to make it a little more prototypical in that it would be in 1955s. They usually wouldn't run the Superdome and the Tap Lounge at the same times, but sometimes they would. Usually the Tap Lounge would fill in if the Superdome was having mechanical problems. So anyways, there's a train. I'm pretty happy with it. Like I said, the only thing I'm a little bummed about is those red stripes that are missing on some of the cars, but I can fix that. So, all right, so we're going to get this thing set up, and we're going to run it around the layout and make a quick trip on my home layout, which is between Portage, Wisconsin and Lacrosse, Wisconsin, which the actual train ran on. So we'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, so we're in the Portage staging yard here, and we're about to depart westbound towards Boston, which is the first town you'll come to on the layout. So here we go. I found when I put the new Digitrax chips in, I had to disable the back EMF, otherwise they were very erratic. Once you go to I believe it's CV57 or 58, one of those two, and you set it to 0, and you have much better motor control. Sorry about if I cough and stuff, I'm just getting over a cold. So this is our first town we come to on my layout. This is Boston, Wisconsin. The train did not make a station stop here, so it won't as we roll by either. So the next town, that the train will come to on my layout is New Lisbon, Wisconsin. New Lisbon had a small yard, and then it was the interchange for the Wisconsin Valley line that went up to Wausau, and that's the Y, partially. And there was quite a bit of action at this little bitty town in the middle of Wisconsin, in the middle of nowhere. So we're going to replicate that a little bit here this afternoon. The first train that's going to come into the station here is just a general mail and express train going eastbound. So that's going to come in here and take this siding off the main, going, like I said, eastbound. So we'll be back when we see him coming into town. So that's the Mail and Express train. Before the Olympian gets here, we're just going to talk about this a little bit. So it's got two Kato E8s on the front. These are, I did some work on the decals, and I put gold metal models on windshield wipers. And I also, again, did that same treatment with the green up to the windshield. So, and I dirtied them up. The Olympian's going to get weathered a little bit too. In the background, those are two Athearn FP45s that don't have hardly anything done to them except for weathering. So it's going to be kind of hard to see this because there's some freight cars parked in the way, but we're going to do our best. So this is a Fox Valley Models baggage car. That's a Microtrains Express box car. This is a Railsmith model, again, a storage mail car. This is another shell I put together from Bill Denton. This one only has single portholes. This is another baggage car shell that I put together. This one's a little different than the one on the Olympian because it's got that extra porthole at the far end of it for the conductor. Later years, those were plated over because the conductor didn't stay in there anymore. Another Fox Valley baggage car, and then a Fox Valley coach. So, and then sitting over here in the yard, there's a Bud Sleeper, which is lettered for Union Pacific, but Milwaukee bought some of these. These were the only Bud Sleepers that Milwaukee owned. They kept their Pacific suffix names, and they were relettered, which I still need to do. And then there's another Railsmith duplex sleeper. So, next train coming into town before the Olympian gets here. The mail train left before the morning Hiawatha and the afternoon Hiawatha. This, at least in our scenario, and it's going to catch up to them from the Twin Cities here in New Lisbon. So, let's call it the morning Hiawatha for our purposes here today. So that's going to come through, and it's going to stay on the main. And then the Olympian will also hit town at the same time. So we'll be back when the eastbound morning Hiawatha gets here. And here comes the morning Hiawatha into town, eastbound again. I'll talk about this train once it gets stopped at the station. So this train's the morning Hiawatha. I have it pulled by an ABA set of FP7s, except these are not Katos. These are Intermountains from quite a long time ago with Digitrax DCC hardwired into them. I bought these right when they came out, and Intermountain did not have Digitrax did not have a chip available at the time, so there's a Digitrax chip in there, but it's hardwired in. All my F units I have so you can, so the headlight, of course, is independent, but then I also have on function 4, you can dim it, so if somebody's coming at you and you're sitting in the station. And then when you reverse, the other A unit's headlight comes on, this front one dims also, so I just reversed it. So we'll shut it off because he's sitting in the station. Okay, the rest of this train, it has an RPO, a baggage, 6 coaches, a Superdome, a diner, a full parlor, and then a skytop parlor. And it's really hard to see these, but these are all brass car sides that I built quite a long time ago. I'm not happy with the gray that I used, or the yellow, actually, but it was a long time ago. So, anyways, it is what it is. So, but at least on my coaches, I put the red stripe on the top. These ones actually didn't use decals. They are painted, the stripes. So, this is a resin cast shell. This and the skytop parlor at the end. I'm forgetting who did these. Jim Stillman, I believe. So he sold them for a while, and he's no longer in business. But at the time, that was the only way you could get a Milwaukee Superdome. So there it is. That's the diner. That's the full parlor. Looks very similar to coaches, but window pattern is slightly different. And then here's the skytop parlor. Again, another Jim Stillman shell. I put that stainless steel band on the back, and it's got a non-working marker light on the back, and then it's got a Microtrains 1015 on the back. I should have put a Z-Scale 905 in there, but I didn't. So that's my morning or afternoon Hiawatha, depending on what I use for head-end cars. So it'll be a nice complement to run with the Olympian. So the next thing, these will sit here because they'll wait to interchange passengers with the Olympian when it gets here. So we'll be back with you in a second. You can really see from this angle how much more orange the Kato cars are compared to the other equipment on the layout. I think, at least looking at prototype photos, the Kato yellow is too orange, but you know, it is what it is. And here we are at our station stop at New Lisbon, Wisconsin. So the last one into the depot is going to be the first one to leave. So the Olympian's going to take off here before the other 2 trains. So here we go. We're going to continue proceeding westbound. The next station on the layout that we're going to hit is Camp Douglas. Again, with that back EMF off, these are silky smooth. So you're going to finally start to see some scenery on the layout now, starting from here west. So this is Camp Douglas, Wisconsin, another little town in the middle of nowhere. But there's an interlocking here with 2 diamonds that goes across the Chicago Northwestern main line between Elroy and now where the Adams Friendship. Sorry. So if you notice, the ballast is a different color, and the Milwaukee interchanged here with them. So, but there was a man tower here for a while. So from here west until we get to staging again, the Olympian doesn't make any other station stops. So we're just going to do some run throughs here as we go through the towns. So back with you when we see it coming around the corner. The next town the train's going to go through on my layout is Fort McCoy, which is west of Toma before you get to Lacrosse. There was again, there's an interchange here with the Chicago Northwestern, but the big thing here was just a little shack of a depot here because um, there was a large army base in uh, uh, Fort McCoy, and there was a large amount of traffic that went in and out of there, both from the Chicago Northwestern and the Milwaukee Road. So I've modeled that here on my layout. So it's going to zip through here again. It doesn't make a station stop. So that completes our tour of the lacrosse division here with the new Kato Olympian Hiawatha in the post 1955 paint job. Uh, Train's coming into view right now, and we're back in the staging yard, and we're going to tie up here, and that'll be it for today. So I hope you enjoy the look if you haven't had a chance to see this train yet in the stores. So, um, like I said, overall, with a few minor details, it's a nice quality product, and I'm real happy with it, and especially with the added cars you can make yourself to get it more prototypical. The the baggage cars and the RPO and the tap lounge are all available on shelves on eBay. So you can make the train more complete to prototype, which is what I'm always striving to do, at least. So like I said, hope you enjoyed it, and happy holidays, everybody.